Good morning once again. In this presentation, I would like to give a short overview of the research project, Disability and Technology, on behalf of Gitte Beckman, who unfortunately can't be here today. The Disability and Technology Project is an interdisciplinary and international cooperation of Makerere University, Kampala, Uganda, and University of Zurich, Switzerland. It aims to contribute to the filling of the gap in scientific research, focusing on the influence of technology in the context of disability in sub-Saharan Africa. Technology, the appropriation and use of different kinds of assistive technologies like hearing aids, wheelchairs, or artificial limbs, as well as, for example, sanitation and computers, must be seen as important factors influencing the daily lives of people with disabilities. Today, it is commonly assumed that Western technological aid, for example, for people with disabilities in developing countries, leads to an improvement of their situation. Wheelchairs, hearing aids, and other assistive technologies are seemingly widely distributed, though not accessible for all. The project's research points to the fact that the actual appropriation of assistive technologies developed for people with disabilities in Western countries and exported to developing countries frequently leads to unforeseen consequences such as secondary disabilities or social exclusion. Furthermore, existent competencies of people with disabilities in dealing with technologies are usually disregarded, hindering people with disabilities' social, economical, and political participation and emancipation. Within our holistic conceptual approach, disability is connected to the physical body as much as it is to society. It is regarded as a social cultural construction as well as a lived experience. To understand processes of disability means to focus on the complex interactions of body, society, and environment. The scientific aim of the project is to improve empirical research and theoretical approaches in order to get a deeper understanding of the complex processes. Our motivations research about the entanglement of disability and technology is concentrated in and on the countries of the North. In sub-Saharan Africa, though, scientific contribution on the topic is scarce, and most research is conducted by scientists from the so-called developed countries. This is where our project comes in. Firstly, according to a recent Ugandan National Household Survey, 7% of Uganda's population have a disability, making it a phenomenon that has an impact on many Ugandan lives and shall therefore be examined. And our source is the Uganda Bureau of Statistics. Secondly, our research project combines both perspectives, meaning that our team consists of researchers from Uganda and Switzerland, including persons with disabilities. 3 members of our team have disabilities. Accordingly, we aim to newly define disability within our research, considering that there is not only one viewpoint, all way of thinking about disability. Against the most proliferated perception of people with disabilities in African countries, which is rather stereotypical, a stereotypical one, we stress the emic point of view. The way we are organized. The research group started as an international and interdisciplinary cooperation. 2 universities and 4 departments are involved. In Switzerland, it's the University of Zurich with the Ethnographic Museum and Department of Social and Cultural Anthropology. And then in Uganda, it's Makerere University with the Child Health and Development Center and the Department of Social Work and Social Administration. In the beginning, it has been planned as a student research project involving students from Uganda and Switzerland. Part of it has been an exchange of both sides for 3 to 4 months. All students did their fieldwork in Uganda and afterwards worked together on the gathered data for 1 semester at the University of Zurich. Meanwhile, more research is underway. Various scientific outputs have been produced, theses, conferences, workshops, and lectures and seminars teaching the subject at hand were held at the respective institutes. In general, the aims of the project are collecting data in the field of disability and technology, enabling mutual learning for researchers, disseminating research results to the respective stakeholders, broadly speaking, conducting applied research, popularizing, publishing or boosting disability and technology studies in academia, in teaching in the curricula of the departments, Our first research results. During a workshop organized in September 2012 in Kampala, research results were shared and discussed with people with disabilities and people working in the field. Based on the aforementioned research and the discussions with the workshop participants, the following 10 results can be stated. Implementation of technology does not automatically mean development or solving problems. There are multiple possibilities for implementation tools. Number 3, the same technology can be helpful for people or for one person, but hindering for another. Then technology is not only influential for the individual lives of people with disabilities, it is always part of social cultural processes, including perceptions and use of technologies. Many technologies brought from Europe or USA do not fit the local conditions and needs of people with disabilities. It is important to bring into focus the perspectives and needs of people with disabilities. The supplies must respond to the demands. Though, through implementation, not only the question of adaptation or use come up, but also the entanglement with other technologies. The access of technologies is strongly connected to socio-economic backgrounds, and there is a strong correlation between disability and poverty. And lastly, the rights of people with disabilities offer an important framework for accessing different kinds of technologies. Our overview and objectives and aims for further applied research. Their objectives of application, or we can call this our way forward. The project aims to propose innovative, locally applicable, sustainable ways of enhancing the use of technologies, thereby have a positive impact on the lives of people experiencing disability. This goes by careful scrutiny of cases of local disability cultures in the view of alternative technology application concepts. The main objectives are producing genuine knowledge about how different kinds of technologies in the field of transport, communication, and rehabilitation are appropriated or rejected, and thereby affect the social, economic, and personal opportunities of people with disabilities in Uganda. Developing new theoretical and applicable concepts and models of local technology integration for global development strategies. And 3, enhancing the competences of people with disabilities in using technologies to their full potential and develop an accessible environment in cooperation with stakeholders, researchers, cooperation with stakeholders, research-based intervention strategies will be conceptualized. On the basis of the research findings, the application strategies shall be designed. Then the research objectives. Therefore, the research part of the project generally aims at studying the connection or disconnection between disability and technology in low-income settings, and the specific research objectives are to examine how technological innovations shape or reshape the competences and skills of people with disabilities, and then to study the interface between social interaction, social networks, and the appropriation and use of technologies by people with disabilities, and then to analyze how the global and local institutional policy frameworks on technology are linked to or influence the skills and competences of people with disabilities, and lastly, to produce genuine knowledge about the actual needs of people with disabilities regarding technology in Uganda. For further information, we are on that website. Thank you for your attention. Mwebale nnyo. Vielen Dank.